one of our amazing featured authors who's going to be around for quite some time, many years to come. And of course, I'm excited for her. And I know she's, if she had fingernails, she'd probably be biting them off now because I was like, it's time. So, well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am so honored, privileged, and blessed to do what it is that I'm doing here today and bring you this amazing young lady. And I don't want to say any more because with that being said, I gotta bring you on because I've been talking about you so much today that
There you are.
you know
I,
I
I,
I want to make sure that they can get a good read. So I want to make sure that you have a good crystal form of clarity on your microphone. I'm thanking God for our additional networks that are here with us today, and of course, I'm also grateful for you. Number one, for accepting the invitation to be a part of our radio TV network family. And number two, being here with us today. And you are one of our featured authors on the GMAP Radio TV broadcast network. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And if dude and dudettes is a word, I want to use that as well. Please welcome Shanda Howard to our platform. And I want to say good afternoon to you. And let me ask you this. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited to be speaking with you.
Ooh, I hear that all the time, and people always thank me, and I want to flip the script a little bit, and I want to thank you for being here and being so, I guess, so real, so open-minded, so willing, to move forward and really let the world know who you are and what you're doing, and all the additional information that you are more than welcome to share with us today. But first and foremost, before we even do anything else, I want you to kindly step up and, basically introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Shanda Howard? Why don't you explain that to us first and foremost?
All right, awesome. Well, I live in Washington State right now. I actually go back and forth between Washington and Hawaii. So I think just having a little bit of that adventure that I've been on for the last couple of years, figuring out how to navigate through all of that I've been doing, has pushed me to write a book recently. And so I've had that on my heart for years. And I finally just in October, I was like, you know what? I have to do this year. So I gave myself a date. I wanted to have it done by March 1st. And on March 1st, I actually heard back from two publishers within like 30 minutes of each other that wanted to publish my book. And so I jumped on it and I did it. And now here I am. So it's
Wow,
been a
you
fun
know
adventure.
what? That is, you know what? That's like an exciting moment because it makes you feel even better when things kind of, I guess you could say, kind of go in line.
Yeah.
You can go with the flow and you think things through. You begin to move forward on reacting or responding to those things, and bam! Before you know it, those things are happening and taking place. It's got
That is
this.
my first. He
This
does it.
is this is your first publication, is that right?
It is. Yep.
How excited are you?
I am so excited. It's going to be released on Wednesday. And so we're coming down to just those last few days. And I haven't even got to hold the book. I haven't even got to really look at it yet. So everybody else is going to get it at the same time that I do. And I am very excited. I do that the word that God has given me for this is going to reach a lot of people, regardless of where you are in your life and walk. And I believe that it is going to make a difference in people's hearts and their minds and their lives, and they'll bloom into a fuller version of themselves and who they're supposed to be. So I'm excited to see how, even if it only helps one person, that's awesome for me. So
Yeah, well, I know that feeling, and I'm like I said, I am so grateful that you're here. And for those that don't know, once again, let me explain. Sean is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Radio TV platform, and you'll be, I'm sure you're going to be showing your love, care, concern, and support for her amazing new upcoming release, Bloom. You know what? It's just something that about that. You know how back in the day, Shanda, they used to always go boom. This is happening right here, right now. And that when I look at the cover of this amazing publication, that is what I think of, and it kind of hits you right there, and I'm sure that it's going to be amazing. Now, it is a 30-day devotional, and I want you to, if you don't, kind of step back into the realm and tell us, what should people anticipate? What should they expect when they pick up a copy of your brand new release?
So, this book, for me, I think that it's different as far as a devotional because I've read a lot of devotionals over the years and they've been great. They're wonderful to have something every day that kind of helps set your mind on, your intention for that day. I think what sets this devotional apart a little bit is that it walks you through a process. So, the beginning of the book is going to be a little bit more surface. We're going to walk through the process of looking at where it is that you are. And then we go a little bit deeper. We're going to look at where you've been, what you've been through, how that is affecting your day-to-day choices and where you are today, how that has affected getting you where you are. And that's not always a bad thing, but a lot of times we let that become a part of our identity. And so we get stuck in that. So really encouraging the reader to accept where you've been, what you've been through. How can you take that and use it to push you into that next level of your life? After that, look at where it is that you want to go. I try to make your vision clear. What does that look like? And then give you tips and tools to walk you through how not only to get to that goal, but the most important part, which is maintaining that goal, right? It's awesome if you get there, you can't maintain it. What's the point, right? You don't want to lose it. That we've all had enough loss in our lives. And I believe that this is a season and time for us to take hold of where it is that we want to go and how to make those dreams and goals and visions a reality in our lives.
I am just amazed and full, like I said before. For those that don't know now, for additional information, of course, you can always stop by our broadcast network platform. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. All right, and when you do so, you'll see a copy of the publication that I'm now going to currently show you on our screen. Click on that copy. It will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publication. We want you to do us the kind favor to make sure you show your love, your care, concern, and support. Purchase a copy. Now, the expected release date is, I'm going to tell you that in a minute, so there's going to be a drum roll. And, of course, share this information with all of your followers, all of your family, all of your friends. I mean, hey, let's face it. You go on Facebook, you share everything else in life. Why not share this? I mean, so, hey, it is what it is. And we're going to make sure that we continue to put this information out there. Again, we are here with one of our featured authors, Shanda Howard. And, of course, we are grateful that we are being able to be heard around the world, all the way in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, all the way in Gurnee, Illinois, all the way in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, stopping by Chicago. We're just having a great time here, Shanda. I just want you to know that. And, of course, we are going to take a quick break. I want you to stay close. Don't move, okay? I'll be back in just a few, right after these messages right here on the number one station in the nation, GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. Yours truly, Kevin T. Doing what I love, and I love what I'm doing right here on the show. Stay close. Don't move. We'll be back right after this. that song for years, and it still doesn't seem to get old. I wonder why that is. All right, back right here on the number one station in the nation, GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. Yours truly, Kevin T. Doing what I love because I love what I'm doing. Here with one of our featured authors, Shanda Howard is here, and of course, we're grateful for her presence, and I really do appreciate you being here with us on today. Today is one of my days that I get to dig deep and get behind the scenes of the GMAP family. So with that being said, welcome back, and of course, Shanda, I just want to, I want to do this drum roll, but I don't have one, so I just got to go. That's my drum roll. I don't have a studio audience. They've been gone since COVID. So I tell you, it's just a matter of just improvising. Improvision is what we call it. When is the anticipated release date of your brand new 30-day devotion? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the title in detail and the anticipated official release date of your brand new publication?
All right, so the title is Bloom into the Greatest Version of You. It is a 30-day devotional. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any bookstore. You should be able to find it. Maybe not in person yet, but I believe that day is going to come soon. And the release date is May 15th. So we are 4 days away.
Wow. 4 days away.
4 days. I'm counting them down.
I know, you know what? I know you are. And I tell you, I am filled with so much, I guess you could say, joyful anticipation, because when things happen first, and it's a brand new thing for you, you're diving into the professionalism. Let me see if I can say this right. The professionalism of authorship. Is that? Can you put your hand around that? Okay.
I'll take it.
The professionalism of authorship. And I tell you, it's always exciting when someone dives into something that they, number one, have a passion, they love, and there's a sense of being called to do it and they feel it. Let me ask you this. When did you know in your heart that it was truly time to put this information down in writing and release it to the people around the world? At what moment in your life did someone speak to your spirit and say, release this?
That's interesting, because I knew, I would say 12 years ago, that I was going to write a book. I've actually looked through some of my old notebooks after I was done with my book, and I have verbatim things written in there that are in my book today. And I didn't look through those old notebooks when I was writing my book. So I've known for 12 years I was supposed to write a book. And in October, getting ready for the new year, I started kind of looking through my New Year devotions that I was writing at the beginning of 2023. And in there, I was like, this is the year you write your book. And it was already October. And I'm like, I'm doing this. And so I was just writing in one of my journals, and I got to like 15 days and I was like, this is actually pretty good. I think I was going to do this. And so I sat my butt down every night after work and made myself just shut everything off and just write. And I got 30 days done, and I sent it off to my editor, and she was like, this is done, because I thought maybe 90 days, maybe 30 days is too short. And she was like, no, this book is done. And wow. So she edited it for me real quick, and I sent it off to some publishers, and it got picked up, and now here we are, 4 days away. It's like been boom, boom, boom since I set my mind and was like, I'm going to do it. So 4
days away. Yep. And the anticipation mounts. Let me draw the picture for you. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, I heard you say you look back, you took time out to look back at some of the notes you had in the past, and I gotta ask you, what was the writing process like? Was it something that when you began doing it, you couldn't stop? Something would be placed in your heart, your mind, your spirit, and you would jump up in the middle of the night and say, "Oh, let me write that down." What was the writing process like as you put all of this together?
It was like there was never enough time. I felt it's so hard when you have a job. Obviously, you have to work and make your living, and so, man, it just felt like there was never enough time. But you know what? God works everything the way that it's supposed to. And when I would make myself just sit down and write, it would just come out of me. And I knew what I wanted to write to an extent. So it's a 30-day devotional, but this is a 12-year process of what I have learned. So it's 30 days, but this is 12 years of information. This is a process that I have walked through myself. And it still hits me to this day. Even when I go back and read back through it, I'm like, it still hits me. I'm
Yeah.
talking to myself too. I'm not just talking to other people. So
Right. Well, you said something so very important. And throughout the day, it always, you said, and I quote, it always seems like there was never enough time. I want people to really focus on that for a minute. Do me a favor. I got a little something for you to do right now. When you think about that, it seems like there were never enough time. Close your eyes for me real quick. I want you to think about this when I say it. Your destiny was determined before your delivery. Your
I believe
destiny
that.
was determined before your delivery. Okay, you can open your eyes now. I said that for a reason, because when you do something that you have a passion for, and throughout the day you're working, and of course you got to go to work, and then you come back, and then you dive right. So it's almost like work to some people, but a time full of joy, and a time for you to just have, I mean, a great time doing what it is that you're doing. And I believe in my spirit, like broadcasting for me, this is definitely not a job, but it is a job to most people.
Right.
When you do something and God places it in your spirit to just release, which is what you did, I honestly believe that you're doing something that you can look at the statement, your destiny was determined before your delivery. And all you have to do is embrace the process, the
Yeah.
writing, the proofreading, the editing, the marketing, all of the things that come along with it. You have to endure the process. Now, after all that has been over, said and done, you look at where it all began. You said you can go back 12 years, so you got a little ways to go. I'm going to give you a little time to travel, but you got to start 12 years ago all the way up to where you are right this moment. And of course, that just happens to be on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. So I want you to take a quick look at that, and then I want you to tell me what's next for you.
Oh man, I think more books for sure. Life is definitely a journey and a process, and I love to see what God wants to do in and through my life. I have a huge faith that a lot of times doesn't make sense to a lot of people, even like the book, and a lot of those things I have learned to just hold it until it's done. I don't tell very many people my plans. I know what God shows me. I know when it's time to go, and I go and I do it. And then when it comes together, I'm like, this is what we did over the last
Mm.
couple months or whatever, And so I love to see the way that it comes together in His timing and the way that He has planned for it to come together. So for me, next, I think definitely is going to be some more books in the future, and then just growing and expanding my business. And I would love to just work with people and help people. That is really
Yeah.
my end goal, is to help people. So
Well, I heard you say something else so important, and it was along the lines of faith. Such a key word in everything that we do. I mean, for example, when you get in your car, you start your engine, you put it in drive, and you drive down the street. You gotta have a whole lot of faith to know that when you hit that brake, it's gonna stop. You I mean, and a lot of people they go to church each week or they worship in their own way and they hear the biblical term of faith. And they can hear it, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But that really confuses a lot of people. I was in church for years before I truly understood how you do things based on faith. You had to have faith to release this book.
Yeah.
So I kind of did my research and I said, if you truly don't understand the word, just take the first letter in each word and hold on to it. For all I trust him.
That's good.
Hold on to that. And you can do whatever it is that has been placed in your heart.
Yep.
As and if someone wanted to reach out, and let's say by faith, they wanted to reach out and touch base with you and learn a little bit more about you on an individual basis, your book release, what's next, what can we place on the anticipation block for you and you as I don't know, how did I put it before? You are really a professional author now, so I got to make sure I honor that. So, I mean, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and touch base with you on a more individual basis and find out a little bit more about you and your authorship and some of the things that you have planned in the future, what's the best way for them to do so? How can you be reached?
Well, I think you found me on Facebook, so you could definitely find me on Facebook, or you could email me, which is just shandamhoward@gmail.com. And I'm happy to talk to people and, see how we can connect. I know that the relationships that we make in life they're so important, our connections and the people we connect with. And I love the connections that God brings, even like this. I'm super thankful for you reaching out to me and that we can do this today and can't wait to see what comes of it. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm
Well,
just
make my day. I tell you, this is something that really I am so grateful for because I always tell people that I said, a lot of times we are afraid to put information out there because there are so many people that I guess they have the wrong motive. And, but when I told you, not just you personally, but those that are viewing and listening from around the world, when I told you, you have to embrace the process. You truly have to embrace the process, good and bad. You know what? You won't appreciate the true process unless there's some stumbling blocks in the way.
You
Let
can't
me,
grow. You cannot grow without the bad.
no, I mean, let me tell you like this. If nothing bad ever happened to you, do you feel as though you'll need God?
No?
No. If nothing ever sidetracked you, got you discombobulated, made you think a few trials and tribulations along the way, we wouldn't even need God. We'd feel
Right.
we would feel as if we were God. So
Yeah.
you got to look at reality. Don't be afraid to approach what they call the enemy's standards. Don't be afraid to approach the stumbling blocks, the hurdles, because they have been placed in your path for a purpose. And
Yep.
any stumbling block that you went through while you were, so graciously writing this amazing book, this amazing 30-day devotional, any stumbling blocks that you embraced along the way, you were supposed to embrace
Yep.
because I always heard a songwriter say that God never puts anything in our path that we cannot bear.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting process. But I'm grateful that you listen to your heart. I'm grateful that you have a passion. And I'm grateful that I can be of assistance in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I can to basically continue to put this information out there. We're going to be doing a rebroadcast of this conversation on all of our platforms. I'm going to be doing it a little bit later on today. I'm going to do it next week, 2 or 3 times. I'm going to do everything in my power to assist you. Now, before I let you go, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to basically speak from the heart. I'm going to allow you to look in that camera, speak on that microphone, and speak to the people around the world about you and your new publication release coming soon, and just basically tell them what's on your heart. So, Sean, I'm going to move over and I'm going to officially say the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Like I said before, I'm so grateful to even have the opportunity to be on here and be heard by other people. My prayer for this book is that it will get into the exact hands of the people that is supposed to read it. If you're looking for a devotional that is like tickle your fancy and make you feel good, this is probably not the devotional for you. It's encouraging, but it's also challenging. I do challenge you through this. But I think it comes across in the way of a friend that wants to see you grow, because I am walking through the process with you. As I was writing it, I absolutely was looking back over the past 12 years. So 12 years ago, I gave my life back to God. I grew up in church, but really kind of stepped away from it and wanted to do things my own way. And 12 years ago, I just got to a breaking point where I was like, all right, Lord, I know I'm meant for more. I have been trying to do this on my own. I do not want to do this anymore. Like, show me what to do. And he did. And he became very alive and real in my life. And we have been through quite the process over the last 12 years. But the timing and plans that he has for us is absolutely perfect. So on May 15th, which is my book release date, is also my 9th year in business. It'll be my 9-year anniversary for opening my spa. And all of that was also just a process. So it's really cool to see this come together now. His timing is incredible and could not be better. The way that everything came together, the way that he provided. I will say I was not in a position to be able to write a book right now, financially and just time wise. I travel a lot. I'm a single mom. I work a lot. And so, when you look at it, a lot of people would say, like, realistically, this is not the right time for you to do this. But when God puts something on your heart, he will make a way. He will bring the right people. He will make time. And next thing you know, it's happening. So trust the process, whatever that looks like for you individually. And if you are looking for that next step in your life and you feel like you've just kind of been stuck and don't know, we all know what we need to change most of the time. We know what our issues are. We know what we struggle with. So how do I create that change and how do I make it last in my life? And that is what this book walks you through, that process to get you there, help you to create that change. And I believe that it gives you information that you can take going forward, regardless of, like I said before, where you are in your life. If you're at the worst time in your life, or if you're at possibly the best time in your life, but you're still looking for that thing that's like, I know there's something more. I believe that this book is going to help you get there. And like I said, help you to maintain what those goals and dreams look like. So, yeah, that's pretty
Well
much
said.
it.
That was very well said. And and and
Thank you.
and let me I guess you could say piggyback off something you said earlier. You said you stepped away. No, I I think you embraced the process because it's like being called to preach. When I was called to preach, there was no way I was going to stop doing what I was doing in order to get up and tell you about Jesus. But it was a part of the process. And the more I did it, the more it became me instead of allowing me to become it. Think about it.
Yeah.
And when it becomes you, see, when you first went to church, you went as a, I don't know, it was the right thing to do. It,
Yeah.
so my mom, my mom took me.
Yep.
Yeah, something like so. So when you first went to church, you did exactly that. You went to church, but it didn't become you
Right.
until you continue to go through the process. So now it
Absolutely.
has become, oh my goodness, you're going to make me run up and down the walls and all that stuff. And then, all right. Now, I am so honored, privileged, I'm blessed. I'm grateful for you and thank you because I want you to continue to do what you've done. Don't be afraid of the people who have the wrong motives. Don't be afraid of the people who tells you no. Don't be afraid of the naysayers or the ones that smiled in your face and well, you know the rest. Don't be afraid of that, because it's a part of the process. And it's really gonna enhance your future decision making, and you're gonna ultimately make those decisions for the right reason with the right people. I am going to be one to tell you personally and publicly, I think you're going to be amazing. I think you're going to do well, very, very well with the passion that you have been given. And I think all you have to do is sit back and allow God to do what God does. Don't force the issue. Let
Yep.
the issue sometimes just come to you. And of
Yep.
course, if there's anything we can do in any way, shape, form, or fashion, don't hesitate to call and let me know. I don't wait. No, well,
Yep.
let me clear that up. I don't want you to text. I don't want you to chat. I don't want you to tweet. I, I don't want you to TikTok me. If I want you to call me and let me know
Okay.
what it is that we can do to assist you. And I want you to know two things when you do. The answer will always be yes, and you will never ever have to ask me twice. Okay?
Oh, all right.
I appreciate you. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Shanda Howard, one of our featured authors here on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. We want you to be sure to pick up your copy. 4 days. That's my drum roll. 4 days and counting. And we are going to do a follow up. We're going to actually have Shonda come back in a week or two. And we're going to, do the super launch thing and say, hey, it's now available. Pick up your copy. Send it all out to your family, your followers, your friends. And of course, we want to continue to show our love, care, concern, and support for those networks that are assisting us in putting this information out. Purchase your copy. Bloom into the greatest version of you. God bless you, Shonda. I really appreciate your time today. Looking forward to talking with you soon. You be blessed, be a blessing, and continue to be the best person that you can be because I believe you're blessed to do so, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk soon. I'll be in touch with you, and I'll let you know where we all go from here. Until then, God bless you, and you take care, and have a fantabulous rest of your day.
God bless you. Thank you.